It's the IMG Academy in Bradenton, Florida. Second game for both these teams, ICC Midwest All-Stars versus FC Barcelona. Matt Peterson with you from the IMG campus. The sun is out, it is warm. It may be December, but 80 degrees here in Bradenton, high humidity. Sunshiny day at this beautiful complex to make it 2 wins from 2 games here on match day 1. The ICC Regional All-Stars will come out in a 4-2-3-1. It's their second game ever played together. The first was this morning, the 1-0 victory. And comprised of the best 4 players from 5 of the biggest clubs in the Midwest of the United States. The Michigan Hawks. The 4 best players from each of those clubs are part of this team, the ICC Regional All-Stars. Barcelona shot from distance, Raquel Capdevila. Her shot was blocked. Space on the left sideline for Barcelona. Top of the box, turning. One layoff. Another ball passed through. Very patient. It's fallen in the area. Shot was blocked. 25-minute halves here at the ICC Futures. These ladies in the under-15 division, born in 2005. Good win in midfield. Lauren Marugula. Celia Segura for Barcelona. Near sideline, Raquel Capdevila. Late run, out comes the goalkeeper and she gets a vital touch. Confident goalkeeping. Mar Perez, 50 yards outside of her goal line. She got there just ahead of Olivia Thomas. Maria Calderon from Barcelona. Noah Baziz. Space in midfield, Maria Calderon. Celia Segura. Haley Bauman. Capdevila. Intricate passing from Barcelona. Calderon knocked off the ball. Restart here for Barca. Barcelona very patient, building out of the back. It's a good group under head coach Ralph Richards, Carrie Sarver, the assistant coach, Doug Landfeld, Dave Commons, the goalkeeper coach for the ICC All-Stars. Playing a 4-2-3-1 formation, just the second game they've ever played together, including this morning. Held a tryout with the and it's ICC Futures opening match against Heat FC of Nevada. Again, we see Mar Perez off her line in the Barca goal. But a wide range of cities across the Midwest. St. Louis, Scott Gallagher, one of the biggest clubs in the Midwest. Barcelona trying to catch its breath. Just 11 minutes gone, 25-minute halves, unlimited substitutions here at the ICC Futures. 2 games per day, 25-minute halves. If it's tied after 50 minutes, straight to a penalty shootout. Amelia Van Zanten with the restart. Ina Roman, the substitute. They play it short. Design play here for Barcelona. Long shot blocked. Recycled by Kamara. Good turn. Nimble feet. Shot blocked. Still alive. Deflection. It'll be a corner kick. All played through again. Confident goalkeeping. Sweeper keeper Mark Perez off her line again. 3 or 4 times out of her box. As a 5th defender for Barcelona. Nice help in midfield. Nina Poe, one of the highlighted stars before the match from the Barcelona coaching staff. Barcelona getting more control of this game. First touch for Capdevila since she returned to the field. Touched on and saved. Both re-enter with just a couple minutes left in the first half. Go. Nina Poe. Ina Roman.
Not in my way.
And dealt with well. 2 Barcelona defenders there. Barcelona have the wind at their backs, but you wouldn't know it since halftime. It's been all the all-stars, including the goal, Pamela Sanchez. "20 minutes to go. 25-minute halves here at the ICC Futures. Both these teams, like the rest of the team, great composure in tight spaces. Lorena Kubo, 15 for Barcelona. Good step to win that from Autumn Jackson. Fernandez lost her footing. All the way back for Monica Fernandez. Nice touch in traffic from Nina Poe. Still patient from Barcelona despite down a goal. Turnover 1 in midfield. Midwest All-Star defense. Here in the qualifying rounds, you have 12 girls teams split into 3. Very good off the break. Barcelona didn't just simply clear it aimlessly. They calmly played out of their own end to transition into that counterattack. Here comes the sweeper keeper. Fuster following the lead of Mark Perez, the first half goalkeeper. Well, having those goalkeepers off their line, it allows Barcelona to play a higher defensive line. Marichelle Fuster, the goalkeeper. Calmly out of the back. Good touch in midfield. Excellent for Barcelona. That touch from Nina Poe. Lorena Kubo now for Barca. Regional all-star team, a collection of the best players from 5 clubs across the Midwest, including 2 of that time. Lorena Kubo, number 15 for Barcelona. Here she is on the ball. Now it's Nina Poe. Ina Roman spills out to the right side. Magali Capdevila at the end line, pulls it back, a chance, tying goal for Barcelona. Laia Martret, well-timed run. She arrived just in time. Barcelona has its first goal here in Bradenton. And now we're level with 13 minutes left. This is wonderfully worked by the Catalans. Earlier today, 4-1. Barcelona takes the lead. It's 2-1. Yep, Martret, her second goal this second half. Every team level on 3 points. FC and Nevada would go to 3 points with that win over Paris Saint-Germain. And Barcelona would get its first 3 points at the group stage with the win here today. We'll leave all to play for tomorrow. ICC All-Stars will play Paris Saint-Germain. And Barcelona will play Heat FC of Nevada. The ICC All-Stars. Got a tying goal from Laia Martret, the go-ahead goal from Magali Capdevila. And that's where we stand, 2-1 to FC Barcelona. Turnover. Barcelona very confident, high press from ICC All-Stars. And they win it back. One back again. Turning top of the box. Partially clear. Cycled out to the left. Another cross block, still alive for the All-Stars. Another hard tackle. Flicked on, backside of the box. Oh, nice turn here in midfield. Andrea Cano. Pearson. Oh, dangerous ball. Back across the face of the defense. It's nearly spilled here for the ICC All-Stars. Back pass. And no one pressuring the goalkeeper, Fuster. Oh, very dangerous. It was played to the middle. It was won by Grace Jackson of the Midwest All-Stars. She was nearly on to goal. Intricate passing out of the back.
For Barcelona, black with that orange trim for Heat FC. Mentioned some of the European teams finding it a little bit difficult against their American competition, but Barcelona, one of the best teams in Europe. Although Atletico right up there when it comes to playing in La Liga Femenil, and they have found it quite difficult. So let's see what Heat FC can do. Ball lifted down towards this midfield stripe. Touched back into the middle by Pujol. Now towards the front line, and good control by Capdevila. It's a reward for a season well done. Pulling it back, Neguilio. Stolen away. Poked forward by Besis. Raquel Capdevila. And Barcelona. Over on that far flank. Challenging was Henley. Walensky sending it long, trickling to this near side. Kept in play by Alexandria Cox. But right back to Barcelona. Fernandez retreats, spins to the outside with Neguilio on her heels. Threaded forward for Raquel Capdevila. Pubil. And Barcelona again retreats, trying to play possession ball. FC trying to turn the pressure on in the midfield. Good controlled in the middle by Noa Besis, and she will retreat, keeping Barca pinned back in their own end. Strong run, Imane Newby down that far flank, passing it off for Peraza into the middle and sweeping it away, Pujols. Nice move to the inside, Capdevila coming around, charges into the defender, down she goes. The juvenile team for Barcelona's women. Many of them will slide up to the senior side before too long. Trying to push up the middle, but stolen away. Strong charge, but no problem at the end. Pujols knocked. Barca gets it back. Sloppy pass, but shielding it was Roman. Now Roman again, another. Capdevila. Rolling it far. Henley back across the middle. Back for Capdevila. Off balance as she takes. Back for the goalkeeper. Patient under pressure. Doesn't matter what part of Barcelona's program, keepers need to be able to play with their feet. Vegas, but homegrown for the Seattle Sounders. Barcelona in the midfield, running into a double team though. Leicester stepping up to take it away. Rolls right back to Raquel Capdevila. No relation, in fact, just making the jump from Espanyol's youth academy. Barca, even under 15 girls, trying to build out of the back rather than just whack it up the line. Could come back to haunt them, but they're making their way through inch by inch. Pujols Deflected though, maybe playing with fire a bit too much. Here's Leva. Davila trying to shield. Does get rid of it, but barely in time. Roman launching it down the line for Magali Capdevila. Turns it back to her left. Takes the shot. Cleared by Baruman Baker. Still in danger. 12 girls teams from the U.S. and internationally. Eric McDonald wanting to have a chat with two of the substitutes about to check in. Nice move on that far flank. Push to the inside. Trying to turn the corner, but well blocked. Barca into the middle for Raquel Capdevila. ICC Midwest with a 2-0 lead over PSG's girls at the moment. 1-0 Heat FC leading Barcelona. Ball forward. Win over Concord Fire, and ICC South pounding Manchester City 7-0. Again, those ICC All-Star teams really just getting together the day before this tournament got underway. So impressive performance against Manchester City. A tangle of legs. Pujols just a little bit to the right, and Leva steps, strikes, slapped away by Fuster. What a shot and what a save. Barca trying to get the ball forward, but unable to do so. Barca with the throw in, now looking upfield. 1-0 scoreline on the penalty. Almost added a second on the great free kick by Leva, but denied by an even better save by Meritxell Fuster. For the most part, well, Barca has teased of course this Heat FC squad in their second match, coming up with a big 3-0 win over PSG. Barcelona with a 2-1 edge over ICC Midwest, so looks like it could come down to goal differential. Nice push by Capdevila, looking for the overlap to Henley. Second half underway. Barcelona have swung around, defending the goal towards the left. ICC on the other side, holding on to a 2-0 lead over PSG. This score line here sees Heat FC up by 1. That means Heat FC by a goal over ICC Midwest. A couple of goals from PSG needed to try and rescue their hopes for a championship berth, but Barcelona, maybe one and a tiebreak might be good enough. See Isabella Peraza on this near side of the 24, pushing up the line, keeping an eye on the number 9, Magali Capdevila, the dangerous for Heat FC. Mar Perez has done the same for Barcelona, each team changing goalkeepers. Punching it forward, trying to knock it away. Newby responds quickly after the collision. Looking for a foul call that wouldn't come. Capdevila ever dangerous to the inside. Outside of the boot clearance, trying to get rid of it. Peraza still in danger, and then finally back to midfield. Now a chance for Short. That help in Ryder. Through ball, well off of her line, Perez. And she finds the captain, Bessis. Where's the number 8, but plays like that Barcelona number 5. Always at the pivot. Juvi trying to turn it upfield, but taken away. Blasting through is Leyva, but quickly recovering is Kubo. But taking it all the way down that right flank before it's stolen away. Little shirt tug committing the foul, and Barca with a quick restart. Six teams in all, boys and girls, making their way from around the globe. 4 continents represented here. 9 different nations. You just kind of sense this is going to continue to grow. Long ball forward for Aisha Kamara. Flag stays down. She pushes forward, trying to get the ball inside, but stripped away. Folk. Pujols. Good ball in. Out sliding Travis to get there just in time. Andrea Cano looked like she might get there, but Travis sprinting to the top of the box and now trying to punt it out. But didn't get much on it. Slaloming through his Pujols. Getting it back, edge of the area, Martret to the middle, and it's rolled home. Team play for Barca. The pass for Martret to the middle, and it's knocked home. Capdevila is in goal. Still loose inside the box. Goalkeeper slamming into Capdevila, who's up slow. Nina Poe into the center circle. Barca turning up the intensity a bit. Segura almost hitting the run of Cano. Wide for Ryder, pushing it forward, coming out of her area. Perez just to slam it away. Trying to settle in the center circle, Folk, but trickles through. Leyva giving chase. Back in time is Bessis, who has dropped deeper onto that back line. Garcia back out there after that hard hit in the first half. Number 23 in black. Strong from Newby. Kamada into the path of Capdevila, over his chin, trying to force her wide, and she does slide in. Back for Kamada. Into the middle for Kubo. Galvez. Perez. Bessis up the line. Newby with the touch. A little room to roam. Wide for Ali Cox, but she can't find a target. Now it's Barca on the break, much more committed here in the second half to the attack. Spin will take it to Capdevila. Can she get around? Tries to play it Snyder. Just about 13 minutes and change to go. Short almost pressures the ball free. She does force using her skills for a different kind of football. The number 14 for Heat. Down towards the Barca net. Perez. Again, Barcelona will not blast it forward, but for last defense. Trying to thread it into the attack, and Cano back. Now Kubo. Olivia Lester anticipates. Lester again. Garcia trying to read the spin. Almost had it. Marcia stretching Heat FC left and right. The channel starting to open up. Newby getting 10. Ball skips up. Bessie's second try. Heat FC had thrown some bodies forward and they're not getting back as quickly. Barca trying to step forward, but stepping out was Rachel Chin to knock it free. Stripped away in the midfield, Lorena Kubo lifting it through Capdevila, and she will lift it over the keeper and in, but the flag up, offside. Again, ICC Midwest with the lead against PSG. Looks like ICC Midwest about to win the group. But still about 9 minutes left to play. Little rain starting to sprinkle in. Near side Capdevila. Good read by Newby. She slides to the inside, tries to play it square, top of the box, but just back in time, Lorena Kubo. Will there be a winning goal? Just over 5 minutes to go. Ball driven into the middle, headed clear. The second place team would have 4, which is behind ICC South, who got their first victory. 7-0. Did get a win as well in a penalty shootout, but 7-0 over Manchester City earlier today. Newby again steps up to win it, but the ball rolls to Kamada. 5 minutes remain. Pull to the inside. Capdevila dispossessed. Newby again, they're trying to test her, but she's standing strong. Just the midfield unable to get anything going for Heat FC. Leva tries to dribble through. Her pocket picked though. Down the line for Segura. Sliding over the captain, Lester. Segura to the goal line. Segura into the area. Segura through the goalkeeper and in. Elke Travis is saying that the ball had crossed, but the assistant referee on the near side did not see it. And the goal is going to count. And then Segura. Now, is there an argument? It looks like the ball on the line from here, but our angle is going to be a lot different. This might be a better view, but tight. Regardless, play to the whistle. Driven towards the spot, looking for Leva. Cleared away, and Capdevila does the rest with an acrobatic side volley. Sienna Bruman-Baker knocking it back down that right wing. Barcelona gets it back though. They've done a good job stifling the Heat FC midfield. Trecano wide, pushed back as we're down in the 49th minute. Mar Perez just getting a touch to the near side. Heat FC have looked good, but Barcelona showing why they are one of La Liga's best. Ayena Roman. Galvez. Bruman-Baker just slams that one. Touched into the middle. Shot from distance. Grabbed by Travis. Less than 30 seconds left. She'll launch it down on this near side. And stripped away from Neguillo. And Tony, when you take a look at these two teams, as good as LAFC is, they know the reputation of Barcelona. And anytime you take on a team that carries the name Barcelona, it's going to be a little extra special.
And I think you also take on the style of Barcelona, because as you watch them warm up, as you watch them throughout this tournament, they want to play exactly like the Barcelona men's side. And that's exactly what they try and do. They put the ball on the deck and they play. You mentioned LAFC. It's a team recently formed.
Way through the midfield, lifting it towards goal, and on a hop into Mar Perez's chest. 4-3-3 from the Slammers. 2019 ECNL champions, going 14-0 through that season. Barcelona, meanwhile, one of the powerhouses of European women's football. Team that
I feel you saw Flores early cutting to the middle with a clear intention of the type of player that she is.
Martret passing it off, and there is Bessis.
I think you said to me prior to this game, watch Bessie. She is the Iniesta of this team. She plays in that role and has been interpreted the same way. She's the engine in the midfield.
Emily Miner looking long, but it carries across into touch, which on the women's side is still a battle. ECNL and the Development Academy still dueling, and that was one of the things that went into that showdown with PDA just a few nights ago. Maria Calderon pushing it wide into the middle. It's Bessis getting the start here today. Aisha Camara, and she has played on the flank, but today electing to put her in the middle. Oscar Bellis plucked away, and Malia McMahon now launching it long upfield for Soleil Dimri. Dimri tends to play that center forward role with an eye towards setting up her teammates.
Yeah, but she'll stretch that back four, occupy the two center backs. See a nice run here.
She's also very good with the ball at her feet. Perez. Near side, Pujols. Back to Perez. Looking up the middle and electing to go wide for Pujols again. Sliding in for Camara.
And this is nicely done here by Barcelona early.
Cano
through the midfield, calm and composed.
And again, they'll switch it side to side. We saw it with the boys earlier today. We've seen it with Barcelona's senior side for years. They don't like to whack the ball upfield. Even in tight conditions, they'll try and work it up.
It's an interpretation of how you want to play, how you think the beautiful game is played. We'll see that also from LAFC. They also will go direct when need be. They'll mix it up a bit.
Kubel. Near side, Pujols. Poked away. And again, many of those Barcelona players on their senior side coming up through this system. Far side from Calderon. Camara giving chase. It looks like midfield pickup for LAFC. There are two 25-minute halves. They are used to playing the 90, but some of these teams coming from off-season, trying to get the intensity as well, and the coaches seem to appreciate it. No added time, no extra time, straight to penalties if this one is drawn. The last two boys' quarterfinals going to penalties to set up tomorrow's semis. We will see the semifinals on the boys' side as well as the final and the girls' final as this ICC Futures tournament comes to a close.
At that back post, couldn't steer it back across goal.
Now stepping up to poke it free, but right back to Lorena Kubo. Calderon keeps it moving. Aina Roman out on that far right flank. And for Bessis, who gets slammed to the turf, advantage played. And now
you can see there, she'll jump lanes, try and break plays up.
poking it to the near side, looking for Cindy Connor. Barcelona in the center circle. Bessie's calls. Finds the open player, Kamada. Swinging over again for Roman. But her pass a little bit behind. Chance for McMillan, but she can't hold on. Trying to lunge inside Pujols. Little slip, but Bessie's there to snuff out the blunder. Back to Perez in goal.
There's a little higher pressure here from LAFC.
Pressure from Dimri, forcing the clearance. Doesn't get past Flores, but Kamada back in for Perez, but it crossed the goal line. A little sloppy from Barca and a gift of a corner.
Yeah, we'll see how this changes things, Phil. Now that the last two times they tried to build out, a little bit of pressure from LAFC results in 2 corner kicks. Will maybe Barcelona try and skip a line, try and relieve the pressure a little bit next time?
Well, that wouldn't be the Barca way. Looking for Martret, but she's dispossessed by McMahon.
So calm by McMahon to break that play up.
Perez well out of her area. Now she's going to have to scramble back. Flores sneaks it through, but a strong step up by Calderon. Doherty, far flank to the goal line and across, deflecting away, keeping it alive, Connor. And it's a battle on the near side. Kamada trying to run away with it and starts a nice break herself. LAFC throwing everything into the attack. And they'll win it back on this near. They needed to win outright. Calderon far side. Roman looking north. Slips away from Maya Ann Henley. Trying to track it down Moschetti, and she does.
Oh, what a good battle on that far side of the field here. And Hanley with the dummy, letting it go through her legs. You see it here. Whoop. And now we're off to the races here. Fun battle to watch with Moschetti.
Here's Kamada. Starting to look a little more confident. She's come off the bench in recent games, but gets the start here in the middle today. Pujols. Martret. They've not really been able to get it to Segura in the middle. Stripped away. Dimri tries to cut wide. Martret using her speed to come back, and she sees it there first as De Stefani. However, a deflection, and now one defender back. Good chance on the break. Rare touch through the middle for Segura. But give credit to the Slammers for coming back. Bessie's trying to
left-hand side of the field, but wasn't recognized. It's been a fun game to watch so far. Energy on both sides of the ball. Good tackles in the midfield as we're seeing here.
9 minutes left to go in this open. Biddulph, youngest player, one of the youngest players on this team.
It looks like Maribel Flores has come over to the right-hand side of the field now.
Trying to settle Flores, drawing Kamada out. Ball gets stuck though as she tries to pass it, and Bessie's trying to take off. Pressured, she gets rid of it. Cano slips away, and Pujols will be forced to retreat. Kamada not that comfortable, but she does well, sweeping it across for Calderon. The center back pushing forward, splits the lines too well as it carries all the way to Olivia Herrera. That front line. Flores waiting for it. Kamada gets the touch.
But Kamara has been so good throughout this entire first half for Barcelona.
Pujols Kamada. Into the middle, pistoning back is Fubo.
Interesting here, LAFC dropped off the midfield during build-up, and any deep free kicks for Barcelona, any goal kicks. Goalkeeper has the ball in her hands. They're pressing very high.
Pushing it through in the attack, Ramirez. Look how far Perez comes off of her line, but now she has to retreat. Swept wide by Doherty. Launched into the 18, bounces up, and reaching back is Perez. She had Flores charging in, and that one almost went over.
Oh, he had an angle here that thought that this was going over Perez's head. You see on the replay, she's retreating here, then she stops. Feet stop moving, then it makes it a bit more difficult to get back, but she deals with it nicely. It's one hand up, pull it in.
This is Takana, dropping it back over to Kamada. Barcelona holding up against relentless pressure from the Slammers. A little giveaway here, though, from Margret, but she comes back to put out her own fire. That could be dangerous. Charging in Henley, but pushed wide by
for LAFC. There's that through ball played in by Dimri. Man deals with this one nicely. I've been pretty impressed with Barcelona. At a minimum, they've been composed on the ball. They don't look rushed when they play. They've lost a few in the midfield, but you can see they're confident to have the ball in tight spaces. LAFC clearly with the better opportunities. It's a happy group of fans right now.
A lot of energy here in Bradenton. IMG Academy. Beautiful setup for this tournament. Ball back for Perez. Sweeps it across, finding Kamada. Biddle trying to close down and does force the errant pass. Up steps Fetters. Here's Flores. Blocked by Kamada. Follow-up shot. Doherty flying in. Biddle. Barcelona wanted a foul. None coming. Now Regan Shields in the corner wins it. Sweeps it forward. Chance for Biddulph in the box. Kamada putting her body in front. They're going to say no foul off of the defender and another corner for the Slammers.
You see four bodies at that back post for LAFC.
Kind of interesting also, maybe just because of the small stature of the goalkeeper, you see three players at the near post. Ball in, looked like it might be curving. Calderon to the back line to head it clear. 1v1, trying to cut her way through Segura, but back in good position, Emily Miner.
So well done defensively, as you mentioned. It was Calderon.
That will do it for the opening half. No score as we have reached the midway point.
Yeah, it's been a pretty good performance by Barcelona in the midfield. They haven't had very much in the attacking part of things. If you're LAFC, the press has worked pretty well. Maybe stick to that a little bit. Continue to get your star, Maribel Flores, involved in the game a little bit more.
No score at the break. No score at the end of the first 25 minutes. There must be a winner in the semifinal to move on to tomorrow's final.
She gets on the ball a bit more.
Ball swings through. Nina Poe. Also fresh legs in this midfield. Roman still out there. Poe the touch. Roman flying forward. Flores stuck a boot in. Bit of a trip, but back now for Bessis. Settles, drives, looking, dishes. Capdevila back. Bessie steps up to pick up the loose ball. Nina Poe in for Raquel Capdevila. Actually, Magali Capdevila chipped up and wide of the net. But Bessie gobbles it up. Calderon forward. Looking for the shot from distance, and Acevedo hold the backup Fuster. ICC West and PDA to come. This one still to be decided, nearly 30 minutes in. Pujols, quick touch, Pubil. Down in pain is Flores. Looks like she'll run it off.
Yeah, she looks to be okay at the moment.
Bessis. Will retreat. Mikel Capdevila in for Poe.
Poe's come in the middle of the field and really active, the number 10.
Slip through, anticipating. Nice steal away by Moschetti, sending Emma James off to the races, into the 18, shot to the back post that whistles. Foot race for Connor. Laid back, it's just a little low and slow, and flying out is Fuster, who put in quite a shift so far tonight. But now without her out, will that open a door for LAFC? Flores. Again, a little off on the touch. Throw in for Roman near side. 11 minutes played in the second half. Still no goal. Barcelona lost their first game against PSG, but bounced back with 2 straight 2-1 wins. Actually finish on top of the group. Capdevila dispossessed, reaches in to try and get it, catches a little bit of Liddy Billup, and down she goes. Trying to find Capdevila in the middle, and Magali has barely had a touch.
Yeah, and it's not, again, it's that same ball, that same attempt over the top. Can you run the player in between 2 center backs, maybe slip one through, be more successful? And that ball over the top has not worked for Barcelona.
Galvez back to her keeper, who sends it right back up the middle to Kubo.
And 17's coming to game, as you mentioned, Capdevila. She's been pretty active in the middle of the field.
Ex-Espanyol player now playing for the rivals, gets stomped on far side. Nothing intentional. Play on. They'll swing it into the middle. Barcelona also with a tactical switch. They've moved Kubo up into the midfield, and Bessis has dropped to the back line. Finding Marichel Fuster.
That's a good ball played out here. Just skips away.
Fuster.
Well, they had something working there. It looked like for a run to that near post, and whoever was supposed to make it didn't make it.
Shane Gordon looks a little frustrated at that.
Yeah. Well, they were working on something. You saw the initial run over the ball.
Roman. Little stutter step in the midfield. Gets to the inside. Well anticipated by Miner. Bounces up. Biddulph giving chase. Gets the touch, but too much on it. Will carry it all the way back to Fuster, who will grab hold.
You know, Phil, back to that restart. How many times do we see in a normal game with only 3 substitutions where a sub is made and a few minutes later there's a restart and there's a missed assignment because you've just come in the game? You can just think about it now when you've got, you know, 12 or 14 total substitutions throughout the game, and someone's going to miss an assignment here or there.
Saw a little bit of that in the earlier game with Benfica against Barcelona, where players not sure what to do on a corner kick, but Benfica survived to advance. Almost a shame that one of these 2 teams will be done for the tournament. Little push wide, but it's deflected, giving chase. Chance down the near side. Martret gets the ball through the middle, whacked away, blocked into the path of Pubil, trying to get the shot, and finally the left foot of Malia McMahon gets it out of danger. Bessis stepping forward. Biddulph challenging. Bessis again. Fights her way through the challenge.
Wow. Really well done there by Bessie's. The captain, as you mentioned, moved back to that right center back position. There was some battle there. Really
not Biddulph yet. Biddulph wins the ball on the turnover, but Connor can't hold on. Fernandez on the far side, back into the middle. And the reason she can move back, Bessie's, is the insertion of Nina Bo into the midfield. Although she'd been quiet over the last few, not here. Pushes forward for Capdevila. The clearance rattles off the striker and back to Acevedo in the Slammers' goal.
I get the sense that Barcelona is finding their way finally in the attacking part of the field, especially with some of the substitutions that have been made, and this one almost comes off here. Eventually ends up in the hands of Acevedo.
8 minutes left to go. Again, no added time, no extra time. Straight to penalties if this one ends level. Barcelona on the front foot at the moment. Threaded in for Capdevila, just missing the train at the station. Blasted by Acevedo in the midfield. Bessie's takes a little bit off of it. Into the center of the park for Kubo. Double teamed and retreats to the captain. Looking, driving it low. From distance, up and slapped away. Martret almost buried it in the corner.
Well, good effort here by Martret. As you mentioned, Acevedo up to the task here. You can see she has to study. Good entry pass played in, good turn. Acevedo has to study it the entire time. That one had eyes for the upper corner.
Barcelona quickly tangle in the area. Belamnahia says no penalty as Ana Roman goes flying. FC Slammers squad. Might be small in size, but did very well off the bench against PDA in the last game. Back into the middle for Bessie's. They've also gotten Soleil Dimri back on the field, have the Slammers, but they have not been able to get the ball to her offensively. Much more composed from Barcelona in the second stanza. 45th minute ticking to a close, 5 to go. Booster on a dime. Trying to turn Fernandez.
And turning there, Fernandez, very well done.
Martret in the circle, and up steps McMahon, but she leaves it for Poe, and now McMahon giving chase, and she gets the help from Jessica Fernandez. James tracking back now from Barcelona, and Slammers forced to basically just try and slam it upfield. From distance, Capdevila! Oh,
wow, what a save here.
Brooklyn Acevedo.
Save of the tournament right here, Mr. Phil Shane.
And she roars to the heavens as she just saved the Slammers in the semis.
Boy, we had an angle here where she had looked beaten on this one. As Capdevila looks up, you can see Acevedo 6 yards off her line, has to retreat. Full concentration, full stretch, and she makes the play.
Both of the keepers starting the second half, and both have been called to the rescue. But Acevedo twice here in the last few moments. Barcelona knocking on the door.
Boy, the degree of difficulty on that one was much higher than the first one. The first one took concentration. She was there.
Oh, deflected. Corner kick upcoming.
And that's when all 11 players pinned back. 3 Barcelona defenders with nobody to mark.
Turning to the inside is Martret. Dispossessed. Moving forward, McMahon, a flood of white jerseys. Biddulph pushing it through. Can she get through? Out off her line is Fuster. Long the other way, and back comes Miner. A little touch from McMillan.
Boy, McMahon had the energy to make one last run forward, and Biddulph decided to push it past the defender. Or McMahon may have been an option to her left.
Fuster anticipates well, though.
You're at that moment, Phil, in the game where managers have to start thinking about who can they get in for the penalty kick shootout if it goes that far.
Magali Capdevila low, and Acevedo gets lower. Another stop. Might be with a penalty in mind, but the Slammers trying to sneak one more sub in before the final whistle. Bessis on the turn. By Galvez. Lifted into the area. Capdevila giving chase. Acevedo almost came out too far, but reaches up to slap it wide. Charging in, and she almost pushed out too far. Now maybe the last gasp for Doherty in LAFC. 25 seconds remain. Looking long for Dimri. 4 to beat. She can't. Well defended. Barcelona pressured in the first half, but they have tightened the screws here in the second. Here's Roman. 10 seconds. Ball back into the middle. Left. Shot. Corner. Goal! Nina Poe in the final second sends Barcelona to the final.
Well, Phil, it had been coming this entire second half, it must be said. Barcelona had improved defensively to allow them to get forward. They continued to press, turn balls over, and move Bessis into that back four to be able to build out of the back. This one gets down the right side, gets pushed back, and Nina Poe had one thing in mind, Phil, and it was that far post. And as good as Acevedo has been this entire second half, you can see there absolutely nothing she could do as this one's buried to that far post.
After the ball went in, she was down on the ground, head in hands. She has made 3 fantastic saves to keep it scoreless, but she could not deny Nina Poe, and Barcelona advances to the inaugural ICC Futures final. Oh, what a way to end it. Well, there you take a look high above the field, the stadium field of the soccer complex at the IMG Academy in Bradenton, Florida. A week's worth of football ending today. The final on the girls' side, PDA against FC Barcelona. Phil Shane alongside Tony Miola, and these clearly 2 of the top teams, and they'll get the chance to prove who is the best today. And Tony, Barcelona and PDA, some very impressive performances today. Plenty of action on this final day. Barcelona coming in with that 1-0 loss against PSG's girls team to start out, but then constantly getting better. Edging ICC's Midwest Stars, then Heat FC from Nevada, and the 1-0 victory against the LAFC Slammers in the semifinals last night. And the reason they move on is that girl, Nina Poe, who had the courage to take a shot I don't think many would have imagined.
Yeah, absolutely, Phil. It was an outstanding goal. Probably the goal of the tournament when it's all said and done here. But you want to come on as a substitute and make your coach feel like he made the right move. What do? In the last minute of the semifinals, you hammer one in the upper corner, and that'll get you in the starting lineup in the finals.
And again, that's noticed. Take a look at the way the New Jersey powerhouse PDA got here, blowing past Manchester City, then ICC South. They did fall, first loss in more than 2 years against their rivals, the LAFC Slammers, but bouncing back on penalties against ICC West. Very difficult to score against this team because everywhere you look, Caitlin Scott's defending.
Yeah, and one thing you'll notice about this PDA side, they play in what they call a 3-2-3-2. And playing with 3 in the back is oftentimes tricky if you don't have players that are tactically aware. Caitlin Scott, you'll see tonight, is all over the place, cleaning up things in the back for PDA.
Well, Barcelona playing in that familiar 4-3-3 of Alex Billiter, the referee, in the center today. And we are just about ready for kickoff on a gorgeous day for football in Bradenton. PDA in the sky blue and Barcelona in their familiar Blaugrana, chasing it down on that far flank Fuster as it crosses the goal line. A little bit of a situation at the start of this one. The fact that the yellow jerseys on both goalkeepers, but PDA able to find a backup kit for their starting netminder Rebecca Kessler, and we are underway. Phil Shane and Tony Miola looking on. Keep an eye for Corcione on that far flank. She'll drop it back, but taken away. First touch for the semifinal hero, Nina Poe.
So a couple of things to look for here. Early on, you see an early long ball by PDA, putting it in Barcelona's half of the field and going immediately to pressure. How does Barcelona deal with the pressure from this side? We saw last night they grew into the game, and what happened to LAFC Slammers last night is I think eventually they got tired chasing the ball. This is a very technical side in the midfield. They like to play in sort of the way we've all come to know Barcelona style of play. Bess is with that touch there. She's the catalyst in the middle of the field. They try and wear you down with the ball.
Nice by Capdevila, threading it forward. Martret, who got the start, back to Capdevila, slapped away, rebound, knocked home! Opening goal just 2 minutes in, and they get off to the early start. Barcelona. The beautiful build-up. Capdevila denied, but Pubil would not be, and PDA in shock.
Well, no doubt about it here. Look at this build-up. We just talked about it early in this game. Through the midfield, through all three lines. Just started in the back. A great ball played in. Capdevila with the shot. Good save by Rebecca Kessler. She can't keep it. Out on the second attempt here, as Pubil is at that back post to put Barcelona up with an early lead here, 1-0.
Oscar Bellis has rotated that front line. Martret starting this tournament on the bench. He did rest Capdevila for the first half last game against LAFC Slammers, but she's in the starting lineup, and those two combine to set up Martina Pubil for her chance in the spotlight, and she did not make a mistake.
Well, I was starting to say, what is it going to look like with Barcelona building out of the pressure? They did exactly that. It must have been at least a 12 or 13 pass sequence that got him on top of the 18 with an opportunity at goal.
And Martina getting the goal. Barcelona starting slowly in this tournament every single game. Started the tournament slowly with a loss against PSG. Took a strong second half to knock off the Midwest Stars. Similar story. They had to come from behind against Heat FC. And there were times where it even looked, especially first half, that LAFC Slammers were going to run away. But for a Barcelona team that tends to get stronger as the game progresses, an early start here today. Well off of her line, Fuster, but cut out by Galvez. And Galvez eventually back to her keeper, and they'll sweep it to the near side.
And the one thing, if you're PDA, if you're figuring out that the press doesn't work this high, can you find another spot in the field to press? Maybe a little bit deeper, condense the space behind so you don't have so much room to cover, because eventually, like we saw with LAFC last night, you're going to get tired chasing the ball around.
Cease into the 18, looking for the equalizer, but poked back to the keeper. And again, Barcelona style, they'll play it out of the back.
And they will play out of all spaces on the field.
Well, let me ask you this. You've been a coach, you've been a player, you've seen this Barcelona squad. What does PDA have to do? Because they're trying to press, they can't catch up to the ball.
Yeah, at the moment, you can rely on picking one or two off. This is the second one now that they do pick off. And you've got to make the most of it when you have it. But you don't want to continuously just chase the ball. Individuals chasing and running after one player, then running after another player when the ball moves. You've got to do it in an organized fashion. And if you're half a step late, that's when things break down. So you have to make a decision at some point if you think it can work. Now, Phil, it is early, so I don't know that you go and change all that much from what you thought was going to work, because you really haven't settled into any mode of play at the moment if you're PDA.
Although in the back of their head, they're wondering. At the moment, they're chasing the game. This is the best we've seen Barcelona come out of the gate. Stepping up, Emma Galvez swings it far side. Nina Poe. Back into the middle as they try and draw PDA out and open the lanes. Noah. Judith Pujols. The inside pass closes down, so she pushes it wide. And knocked down Martret, but it'll be a throw-in for Barcelona.
I think, Phil, one thing to look at, the more Bessis, the captain, number 8 for Barcelona, gets the ball and she's facing forward.
Martret into the middle, headed clear Corcion, and then Wong whacks it back to midfield.
And Corcion, a good job at the back post. Always difficult as a defender to defend at the back post.
Garcia whistled for the foul, and she's not happy.
I was saying, Phil, the more Bessis has the ball in the midfield and she can face forward, that means the press isn't working like you want it to, as we see Garcia Kennedy getting called for the foul here. I'm not quite sure there was much in that.
This one chipping it in, but right into the midsection of the PDA keeper. This PDA squad, and you're familiar with it, New Jersey, and that you are, has turned into a powerhouse.
This is one of the storied clubs, not only in New Jersey, but in the country. They were ahead of the curve when you talk about development and what the ideas were.
A lot of college players around the nation, and a few national teams like Tobin Heath.
Yeah. Carly Lloyd played here for a while.
Headed down for Martret, trying to steal it away was Maron into the area. Capdevila goes down, ball still loose, and as she spun to the turf, chance for Poe. Another long-range shot that just whistles wide.
Well, we know one thing Poe can do, and that's shoot from distance, and she has here once again. We saw it last night in that game winner. This one pops out here. Another good build-up by Barcelona. Gets knocked around the top of the box. PDA doesn't deal well with it, clearing it. A little bit slow here.
McLeod coming through and clearing the decks, but almost ended up as another goal.
And Matret, number 11 for Barcelona, has been right early in this one.
Martina, the goal scorer, in for Capdevila. Magali trying to square, looking for Leah Martret. Waiting, finally pushed up, but right there to gobble it up is Pujols. In for Capdevila, elects to maintain possession. Noah Bessis. Raquel Capdevila, could have been a handball, and eventually it will be. Been really impressed. No relation between the two Capdevilas other than the fact they're both very good players. Bessis sending it in and scraping it under the crossbar. From out of the blue and into the sky blue net.
Well, you talk about being impressed here. How can you not be impressed with this Barcelona side? 9 minutes in, up 2-0. And what an absolute stunner here from the captain, Noah Bessis. As she was about 25 yards out off the free kick. And you were about to talk about Raquel Capdevila and how impressed you were with her presence in the midfield. She plays a quick free kick. Rebecca Kessler can do nothing about it as it touches the underside of the crossbar to put Barcelona up 2-0. Impressive last night when she came on as a substitute.
Driving it in right on the fingertips and almost overrunning it, Fuster.
Well, we'll see now what Nick Heineman does, the coach of PDA, to change the tactics a little bit. He's sticking with this high press.
Again, you have to remember that for PDA, this is the start of their season. Last year was a phenomenal one. Went unbeaten, 32-0. Outscored the opposition 216-19. Last year was a phenomenal one. Went unbeaten, 32-0. Outscored the opposition 216-19. Edging LAFC Slammers in the final, but they had an issue against the Slammers in the group stage here, and they are being torn apart by Barcelona. Spinning away, Garcia, nice move. Tries to sneak it inside. Rabimbas pushing to the front line, but dispossessed by Bessis.
What a good spin out that was here. Dangerous ball played across the face of the goal for Barcelona, but sticking to their principles about building out of the back at all costs.
Tony, back in your playing days, there's the saying, it doesn't matter how you start, it's how you finish. And Barcelona's been getting better game by game. Coming up, Corcion, edge of the area, maybe just inside. Looked like there was contact with Roman, who actually surrendered a penalty to Heat FC earlier. Lifted forward, Martret looking to split the lines. Marone getting there, Martret still giving chase, but off her line Kessler in time.
Kessler a little anxious there, putting that one down. Corcion
into the center circle. Now Barca building from the back. 12th minute nearing a close. Take another look. Was this a penalty?
Corcion, oh, she got bundled over. She loses control here, but as the defender, Ana Roman, goes down, did she catch her on the back of the heels would be the question.
Nice touch by Rabimbas, but Barcelona quickly closes in. 25-minute halves. So a 50-minute game. Straight to penalties if it's level. PDA has its work cut out for them. Still a lot of time to play. Midway point of this opening half. Driving it forward. Pulled out of midair nicely by McLeod. Driving it, Marone. But picked up again by Poe. And this is the frustrating situation. Barcelona always seems to be aware of where the release valve is.
I think at the moment, if you're going to continue, I don't want to turn in the midfield here. If you're going to continue to pressure, you're going to have to win some balls in these areas and make something of it.
Like Wong just tried to do, but stripped right back. It was Maria Calderon leading the break, the big center back, taking out Wong in the process. 2-0-1 both teams, 6 points, but the New Jerseyans outscoring the opposition 8-4. Barcelona barely squeaking to the positive at 4-3, but all that matters is that you're ahead at the final whistle.
Well, there's goals in this PDA side. There's no doubt about it. Well, there's goals in this PDA side. There's no doubt about it. In talking to just about everyone in and around watching the girls play, this front four, which includes Kayla Wong, everyone says about as good a front four as you're going to find anywhere, Phil.
All the way to the back line for Emma Galvez. Just a little too much. Whacked towards goal. Edge of the 6 and strong charge Fuster to get there.
Yeah, Olivia Marone playing it in the box, looking for some runners. Almost got on the end of it. Was Kennedy Garcia.
I guess those set plays where they might have the chance to cut the lead in half.
But that one looked a little rushed to me. Still didn't seem like PDA was set up to have their runners in the box. Maybe a bit of nerves setting in at the moment. Side that's not used to being down 2-0 generally. So now they'll have to keep their emotions in control here. Have faith in what they're doing.
5th game in 5 days.
Yeah, the legs will get heavy, even though they are shorter games, but you've got the traveling to and from. You know, recovery becomes a big part of it, but both sides are dealing with it.
10 minutes or so left to go in this opening half. Again, Barcelona looking to frustrate PDA. PDA can't just lay back. They have to step forward and try and force an errant pass, but that then opens them up.
The one thing I notice here, from front to back, from their top player.
Mishit by Poe. Fighting to get it back. And there's Capdevila.
A nice bit of skill.
Corcion forcing it into the 18. Stripped. Kennedy sees it poked away.
Good 1v1 defending. And
Martret shielding.
Nice move by Martret.
Now down the line, revealed the goal scorer. Capdevila giving chase. Played back by Scott. And Kessler will send it back far side.
And this is all broken up because of the work rate up top by Magali Capdevila, the number 9. As it got rolled back to Rebecca Kessler. He did not stop her run. Corcion's been good.
Through from Rabimbas, looking for Barry. Off her line, and a bit of a collision is flying out as Fuster, but the offside flag was up. Garcia quickly closing down.
That's good.
Steps in to win the ball. Still loose, but Barcelona sweeps it across. Hard to win a one-player press.
Calderon goes out the other side. But that pressure was better because as Kennedy Garcia pressured the goalkeeper, she took the complete middle of the field out. She did get a piece of it. It ends up going to Emma Galvez. But that could easily have gone anywhere.
And again, Fuster sometimes maybe taking chances other goalkeepers wouldn't. And Garcia almost able to capitalize.
I mean, think about the theory of Barcelona. I don't know that they look at it as a chance, more as an opportunity to continue to build out with one extra player.
True.
Using your goalkeeper.
Able to capitalize.
I mean, think about the theory of Barcelona. I don't know that they look at it as a chance, more as an opportunity to continue to build out with one extra player.
True.
Using your goalkeeper.
Pops up on Capdevila, but she hops back in time. In for Bessie, says it's a game of keep away.
And you know, Phil, I think you and I and probably a lot of people watching this competition fail to forget as we're watching this that you're dealing with 14-year-olds sometimes, because we're looking at the level of play. And you're okay. If you're a manager, you should be okay with eventually going to make a mistake.
Oh, sweet touch. Will it hold? The ball back inside by Pujols. Fed again by Martret. The left back trying to thread it forward to the front line. Martret gets it on the right foot, drags across, shut down finally as Wong. Only as far as Bessie. She scored from near that spot, but this through ball rolls wide.
Well, there you see the fruits of building out with from your goalkeeper. You know, a dozen passes ago, ending up in the position that they did. As I was saying, you got to be okay at this age with seeing some mistakes and judging where you can build out of, how much pressure you can build out of.
In some ways, isn't that one of the biggest arguments when it comes to youth soccer?
It's the biggest argument, is having managers and having clubs, and having, quite honestly, having parents and that understand that that's what it's going to take.
And you talk about the parents who could put the pressure on the clubs, and they might talk the game that wins don't matter. But sooner or later.
The halves are only 25 minutes here, Phil. We won't be able to go through it all, but good opportunity here.
Nice chance by Rebimbas. Stops, but stripped at the last moment as Poe coming through, and Rebimbas looks like talking to herself because she didn't get much conversation from her teammates.
See how Barcelona builds out here. Look at this, goalkeeper playing the ball backwards. Rebimbas on that attack.
Through a double team.
I think her frustration is coming now. A little indecisive on that play, but she's doing a lot of running in the middle of the field during this press.
Rolled out wide by Poe. Bouville looking for Capdevila. Scott over, and she'll just play it safely into touch. Jones sending it along. Garcia trying to get the engine started, but the ball sails all the way back to the Barca keeper.
You're sensing a little frustration up top from PDA that they're not getting service. We'll have to figure that out at halftime. Nick Heineman's got his work cut out for him here with this.
Oh, sweet touch. Capdevila almost finds Martret, but cut out by her counterpart Marone. Trying to pull the ball down. Maria Calderon.
Really well done again.
Pujols. Magali Capdevila. Well read. Morcion, but she's had to do a lot of defending. Stripped away. Poe, another shot from distance on a hop. Kessler with the stop. Out wide by Ada.
Nice
back
here.
Inside Rebimbas, trying to get in, but Bessie's to the inside. Saw she was going to get beaten and surrenders the corner in the box, but it looks like they will settle for the 2-0 lead at the break. Barcelona, their best first half of the tournament, and what a day to have it, leading at the break 2-0.
Yeah, they've been impressive here early on. PDA wanted to employ a press on Barcelona, and they got picked apart on numerous occasions. They'll have to make some adjustments, maybe sit a little bit deeper and see if now Barcelona could build out of tight spaces. But so far, for my money here, Barcelona's been 2 goals better and deserve to be up by this scoreline.
For PDA, there's another half to go, but they need to get things right offensively and defensively. 2-0 goals for Pubil and Bessis. Barcelona over PDA at the half of the ICC Futures final. Some changes for Barcelona as this second half gets underway. Oscar Bellis bringing in some players off the bench, giving some starters a bit of a breather, and not a bad idea. Always have the opportunity to make the switch again if things start to get unraveled. Soft touch on this near flank. Flying down the line is Maya Henley, but she can't keep it in play. Henley, one of the players in. Celia Seguro is another. End of Roman and out.
And we're seeing Aika Kamara come in at right center back. She played as a left center back last night. She was really impressive. It looks like Bessis now has dropped into that back four, which we also saw.
That does tend to be a regular situation, maybe just to get another midfielder out there, and Bessie's almost irreplaceable. Ball swept across. Kamada, again, as you said, on that right side, getting tangled. I've seen her play 3 positions on that back line. Right back against Heat FC, and the 2 center back positions, as you mentioned. She does have the speed, does have the positioning, but sometimes her passing has been suspect. Looking for a through ball that just wasn't strong enough. Meanwhile, for PDA, mentioned the injury to Alexandra Berry. They have kept Elisa Martinez out there. And looks like Gabriela Baeza has gone back to the bench, at least for now. Down goes Roman, and a foul against Garcia. You see the frustration on Garcia's face. Barcelona will do that to you.
Well, you're chasing the ball an awful lot. But PDA sticking with this press right now. Maybe they've made an adjustment on how they're going to organize the press.
Andrea Cano also in the midfield, as Nina Poe taking a seat for the moment.
Now look at Bessie's just directing everyone before the ball even got to her.
By the way, Poe's still out there, so just an extra playmaker, and you're right. There is that certain ability, and again, it's the ability Barcelona looks for and then polishes in all of the calibers of the game. We saw it from Adrian, if you will, the young American who's playing there at this tournament. Of course, we've seen it at the senior level in so many different variations. Chance for Wong, but can't get the ball through. Bessie's playing some defense. By the way, the goals for Pubil and Bessie's, both their first. Revimbas, along with ICC West Joel Young, who scored last night, the leading candidates for the Golden Boot, each with 3. Barry with 2, and Capdevila, Magali Capdevila, also with 2. Maybe a chance to grab that if they can find the net in the second half. Ball driven far side. A switch and goal as well, and a reverse of last night. Fuster out, Mark Perez in, and Perez quickly over, surrendering her body and paying the price.
What they're doing, they'll take their time. She looks to be all right.
Out into the midfield, Cano. Out wide, back to Noah Bessis. Cano sweeps it again out far on that far flank, but just a little too far in front of Monica Fernandez. PDA has barely had a touch here in the second half. Bessie's trying to shield a push from Garcia from behind, and that is going to be a yellow.
We kind of knew this one was coming here on the next foul. And she had a referee, Alex Billetter, had a conversation with Garcia on the last play.
And a hard landing for Noah. Nothing notoriously vicious about it, but it was something she might have been playing for to this point. Let's take another look at how this scoreline developed.
Yeah, early on, good combination play at the top of the box for Barcelona. Magali Capdevilla with the initial shot, and the rebound is pounced on. And Martina Pubil at that back post. And then the captain, we've seen her do so many good things throughout this tournament, Noah Bessies. A shot from about 25 out, underside of the crossbar, made it 2-0.
Always thinking back to her feet. With Barcelona and Atletico Madrid on the senior side, the two best women's teams. Interesting to see how women's soccer growing. It wasn't just here in the United States during the last few World Cups, but even to the point now where Real Madrid has joined them, buying a Madrid Liga Femenil team, and they will fully convert it. So we will even have a Clásico on the women's side coming up in future years. And we see here down at the youth level, as Garcia in the book, that the pipeline is producing. Over to the far side, Perez getting a little fortunate, almost stolen away. Up into the middle, threaded by Cano, slotted into the path of Henley, but dispossessed again. Caitlin Scott coming back from an offside position.
Reading back.
Tony, take a look at the growth of women's soccer. We've seen it in recent World Cups, where even though the U.S. might be winning the trophy, it can get to be a harder ride. And here on the youth level, we're also seeing that. Tournaments like this giving not just teams like PDA, but teams like Barcelona a chance to improve themselves.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And I love the interpretation of the game. Barcelona sticking to their principles. And I had an idea what PDA was going to look like. I've seen this club grow over the last 20 years.
Stolen by Roman into the area, has a shot herself, but gathered on the goal line by Riley Miller.
Probably more like 15 years for this PDA side, but they always have quality players. As we see this opportunity here, ball's turned over. Good shot on goal, easy in the end. But yeah, this Barcelona side, they've stuck to their principles as a club, and they're going to do it. It's going to be death by passes when you play Barcelona. How many times have we seen that over the years?
Again, looking for Henley. Again, Miller quick off her line.
PDA lost their first game in 2 years.
To that front line, Paeda. Rubimbas pushing forward.
Oh, a nice ball by Rubimbas here.
Wong cuts inside, threading it forward. Foot race at the top of the box. Shot past Perez, but wide.
PDA is going to want to have Rubimbas on the ball a bit more than she's been. I still think that to be the case, as well as number 6, Cassidy Corcion, on this left side.
Change for PDA. Cheyenne McLeod coming back in at that left back position. Had a good game last night. Little bump from behind as Rubimbas losing her footing. Again, talking to herself as she jogs away. Barcelona about ready to make another switch. Little hop to the middle from Cano. Chance for Segura. Blocked back. Roman on the near side, and again they'll pull it off the fire and try and cool things a bit.
This is really well done here by Barcelona.
Bessies with backspin. Playing her line is Miller. Top of the box, lifting it up, lifting it over. Almost goal number 3.
Diana Henley here, good run in from this right wing position. as Segura checked in for the ball. Bessies took it forward, played it over the top. Look at that diagonal run, and she makes a little cut. You can see the intention to get it to that far post over the goalkeeper.
Slamming it forward, Huskey. Coming out is Mag Perez, well out of her area. Tracking it down far side, and she'll just slam it into touch.
Made that first touch. She had a little bit of cleanup work to do. after she got some pressure put on her here, but Barcelona once again picks this one out and back on the attack with some patience.
Nice by Roman to the inside. Segura. Sure and safe feet that time.
One tactical change that happened a few minutes ago.
Rolled out for Kamada. Pulls it back for her keeper. Martinez stepping up to try and press and almost steals it away. They need something to go their way soon. 38th minute almost done. 12 left to go.
Corcione a little anxious. She did the hard work to get around the defender and then cut it to the middle of the field. She had options, but she went for the shot. Well, Alexandra Berry just doesn't look right at the moment. Up top.
Trying to give her a chance on the touch. She does lay it off that time. Rabimbas back to her left. She slips as she shoots, and it scrapes the net, but on top of the crossbar.
Skill is still there to make that pass. Good move by Rabimbas, and boy, it misses over the top by inches.
Marquette about to check in.
Kennedy Garcia going back in.
Perez. Under pressure, Kamada. Nice from Roman, but no, stolen away. Corcione sweeps it in front. Diving header Garcia, but just out of reach.
Well, they got one turnover there that led to something. A good ball played in by Corcione, looking for Garcia at that back post. Inches away from connecting.
Ball in. Again, Rabimbas, triple teamed. Rattles around, and Barca will come away with it. Cano pushing up that line. Marquette, Rabimbas, and she's going to go. 10 minutes to go. Back for Perez. Both teams ready to make a switch. Noah Bessis under pressure. Kamada pops up, but breather. Capdevila quickly shows for the pass. Back for Kamada. Perez. Bending ball. Under pressure, flying forward to try and win it was Riley Hayes. Back into the middle and just past the stretched Berry. I don't know if she could have extended any more.
Well, the pressure is leading to a little bit more here late in this second half. It's 3 or 4 opportunities as the ball turns over. It's out to that right-hand side. A good move by Riley Hayes. The ball swung across. Nothing Berry could do to get to it, but not far from connecting once again. Barcelona will continue to build out of the back.
Under pressure, Bessis with the touch, blasted by Berry, but couldn't come around it. As that one sails wide and leads to a break the other way. Cano. Segura. Lifting, looking back for Cano. Capdevila with the dummy. And Roman. Berry limping back to midfield. She's had 2 chances. She will get this one and will pass it off. Garcia, it's 3v5, but there might be a lane in the middle. And Garcia finding the opening. Garcia inside, parried away by Perez. Still loose in the 18. Deflected out to the far side. It will be a throw-in for PDA. They're knocking on the door, but they just can't get in.
Yeah, Mark Perez here coming up big for Barcelona. Keeping PDA off the scoreboard. There's the ball played across by Berry. And then Kennedy Garcia turned on the afterburners here. Got around Bessis. Tried to beat Mar Perez at that near post.
Players checking in.
Big play.
2 forwards. Alyssa Martinez, Abigail Doherty. Berry looks like her day is done, and they're taking out a defender. Doherty's going to do dual duty on that far flank. Barcelona, 7 minutes left between themselves and lifting the title. Early defense from Doherty as she challenges.
Important touch there by Ana Roman, because at that back post, as you mentioned, was Corcione.
Celia back into the middle. Nice turn by Cano. Cano a little bit behind Marquette. Feeds it back. Champing at the bit is Henley. They find her, but the angle was off. Will Now into the middle, Garcia trying to shield, turn, settles, Corcion rolls it wide, but it wouldn't have counted. The offside flag is up. Calderon sliding back to the inside and Roman back out wide. The PDA putting Barcelona to pressure, again trying to win it in the midfield. Stepping up, Martinez leaves it for Wong. Roman in the way. Another crack from distance by Martinez blocked. Raquel Capdevila off the give and go. Henley cuts inside of McLeod, drives back outside. Martret on her inside if she can find her, and she does. Martret one touch, cleared away. And it was Doherty pinching in. Robimbus back, but the ball rolls to Capdevila.
And Capdevila's work rate in the midfield has been excellent.
Wong up the middle, Robimbus through, trying to find Martinez. Perez at the top of the box. 90 seconds remain. Robimbus throwing her body into that challenge. Loose ball far side. Trying to turn, but Riley Hayes will have to settle for the throw. Kamada with the back heel. Again, it's Martinez. Into the middle, Robimbus back to her right, drives to the left, and back goes Capdevila to knock it down, and back to her feet to bring it out.
Well, how good has she been now defending on the top of her box? I thought Robimbus had an opportunity to shoot once she got it on her right foot.
Wong winning it back, but cleared away by Calderon. 50th minute reached. No signal yet as to added time, but Barcelona with a 2-goal lead. Tested in the second half, but they're passing the test of the ICC Futures. Into the middle, Calderon settles, trying to close down Martinez. 12 teams from across the globe coming in for this inaugural girls tournament. Barcelona pressed. There was a good chance they might not even make it to the knockout stage. They've made it to the final, and they're about to be crowned champion. PDA fighting for one chance. Perez out, slams it off Garcia, loose in the box, but again denied. She has.
And they all have here today, Phil. It's been a good display by both sides. PDA grew into the game in this second half. They really have controlled things in the attacking part of it. It's all come off the press that did not work in the first half.
Kamada gets it back.
Credit to Barcelona. They've been able to manage at least enough opportunities to relieve some pressure.
Galvez stripped. Nice move, Martinez. Plays it square, Corcion. Trying to get around Roman, but forced to retreat. Now double teamed, but turns, looking for any opening. Into the middle for Robimbus, lets it bounce. Scott, touch, shot, but got underneath it, spinning inside the 18. Roman nods it wide. Back comes Henley, but Corcion will take it. Final seconds ticking away. Inside the 6, dummy through, shot by Scott, and it sails high and wide.
Well, there was the opportunity we're looking for late here.
Riley Hayes coming close.
And it was Riley Hayes at that back post, cutting across here. Scott was in the picture. What a good opportunity for PDA.
Looking to turn Robimbus, unable to do so. Final seconds ticking away. They've come close in the second half. 2, 3, 4 chances to get on the board. The Barcelona resilient. All thrown in over Garcia. Keeps it alive. Smacked back by Martret. Garcia again hits the turf hard. Segura comes away with it, and Barcelona at the final whistle crowned champions of the inaugural ICC Futures tournament. 2-0 over PDA.
And what a great job here by Barcelona and their entire staff. A PDA side that clearly knows how to win things. They've done nothing but win over the last couple of years. But this Barcelona side today was so much fun to watch. Everything that we expected. We didn't know if they would change tactics based on playing against PDA and the talent that they had. They stuck to their principles and find a way to win the ICC Futures in the girls division.
Well, PDA represented themselves quite well. Just caught by surprise in the early going, maybe intimidated by the name a bit. But I think Barcelona going back with respect for PDA as well. This ICC Futures tournament, the lone international team to advance to the knockout stage is Barcelona, and they finish atop the table.
Well, it was fun to watch. There's no doubt about it. They did it in the end without their captain, Bessie, but she was so good throughout this competition, playing every role that her manager asked her to play.
Garcia still down.
Looks like she needs some medical attention here.
Celebration for Barcelona, and they continue to be a crowd favorite, and not just from those that have made the trek from Spain.
Well, anytime you play for Barcelona, Phil, it means something. You're seeing it here.
Meanwhile, it looks like it might be that wrist that's causing Garcia problems. It is agonizing. Everything that they tried, nothing seemed to work. While Barcelona, again, building as this tournament progressed, they lost their opening game, snuck past a group of ICC Midwest stars that had been put together the day before. First time they've been introduced. Had to come from behind to beat Heat FC from Nevada. LAFC Slammers also had the better in the first half in the semifinals, and it took a 50th minute goal, a last minute goal from Barcelona to get it done. And then today, they decided enough with the drama.
They certainly did, and they did it in a way that I didn't think coming into this one, Phil, that they would be able to. They took chances, they were brave. Again, they stuck to their principles. It was fun to watch, and it was a well-deserved win, in my opinion. Again, credit to PDA and that group of girls. They've been so good, but today they were not the better side of the two. They had some opportunities late, but Barcelona was just one step ahead.
And again, the team photo, the trophy to be awarded, all of the presentations. The 2019 ICC Futures champion is Barcelona. If you're going to put everything together, maybe one of the more impressive teams, boys or girls, especially when you take a look at the way their second half control got them today. And it was the first half where this trophy was won against PDA. Let's remind you.
And it happened early here. Magali Capdevilla, a little give and go. Shot on goal, initial save by Rebecca Kessler. Then at that back post, Martina Pubil made it 1-0 into the open net here. A nifty little finish. And Barcelona was onto something in this one. Martret, the number 11, of playing a ball into Capdevilla there, and it doesn't connect. And then a quick free kick by Raquel Capdevilla finds the captain, Noah Betis, and she buries it underside of the crossbar. That made it 2-0. Again, nothing Kessler could do with the PDA goal. And there were some impressive plays the entire half here. Another ball picked off. Ana Roman with this one here. Shot on goal. Riley Miller, easy save. PDA did put some pressure on in this game. Alina Rim Bimbas with an opportunity. And how calm was Mar Perez throughout the game. There were some more opportunities here. Bimbas once again with the shot. This one misses by inches. Left-footed right over the bar. You see the pace and the power on that one. The credit to PDA, they continue to battle and battle and battle. Porcion with another good ball across the face of goal. Kennedy Garcia couldn't get on the end of it. Nifty little move here by Riley Hayes. Another cross. This time it was Barry at that far post. Porcion one more opportunity. Ball in the box. Riley Hayes gets on the end of this one, but he couldn't find a goal. And there you see your champions, 2-0.
Barcelona celebrating. The trophy is already awarded, and now a bit of a guard of honor as they bring PDA through for their second place award. PDA falling against Barcelona in the final. The champions on the girls' side crowned, and it is the Spanish powerhouse. Will it be the Brazilians from Vasco da Gama or the French from PSG on the boys' side? We'll find out starting at 5 Eastern, 2 Pacific. Barcelona lifts the trophy of the inaugural ICC Futures Girls Tournament. The final score, 2-0 over PDA. For Tony Miola, I'm Phil Shane. Thanks for joining us.